Yo, what's up guys? Gonna share today's video. We're actually finally going to be reviewing the full kit of Kurama Link modes. It's about time. It's a little bit late, but better late than never. So yeah, let's get started with the ultimate here. So the ultimate, the Tail Beast Planetary Rasen Shuriken. It has 60 seconds cooldown, doesn't change if you level the ultimate up. The critical hit rate starts with 1% as well. It's not really special. The power starts with 4,300. So this ultimate basically covers the whole floor and it does 6 hits. Yeah, I was actually surprised because when it came out for the first time and for the past 2 weeks, I actually thought it's only 5 hits, including the initial hit from the Centric itself. So yeah, it turned out that it's actually 6 hits, and the total damage from the 6 hits does 1.2 of the standard damage. So to test this out, we're actually using Hokage Naruto as the Binyata that we always use for damage testing. And then we have Shisui with level 3 ultimate and Kurama Link mode Naruto with level 3 ultimate as well. They both have the same power. And if you didn't know that from the previous showcases and reviews of Shisui, he has the standard damage in his only one head that covers also the whole floor. So basically, we will be testing out the damage between both of them on Hokage Naruto. And you can see that Shisui's ultimate does 11,000 damage with her hits, and then we have 6 hits done by Kurama Link mode Naruto, and each one of them has 2,200. That equals to 13,200, which is basically 1.2 of the standard damage at the end of the day. If you miss the initial hit, which has a really small range compared to the other hits, because the first hit has a really small range compared to the other 5 hits, you will still be able to do the full standard damage anyway. So yeah, the ultimate is really good so far, and it has also that animation at the beginning, like for 2 or 3 seconds, and it's a really good thing because even though you might think it's bad sometimes, it actually is good, because if you go into the final room and enemies start using their iframe attacks during these 3 seconds, almost all of the iframe attacks will be used, and then you will be actually able to kill everyone without a problem, unless of course the enemy had like 2 or 3 iframe attacks and then you were unlucky with the timing and you didn't kill one of them or 2 of them. But most of the time you will be actually able to kill everyone in the final room after you enter, of course, with the invincibility. We're going to talk about that later. And then use your ultimate. You have 3 seconds for every one of the enemies to use their ninjutsu that have iframes in them, and then bam, you are actually killing all of them. So that's why the ultimate is really good. Pretty much one of the best ultimates right now. It covers the whole map, it does multiple hits, and it doesn't even do just the standard damage, but 1.2 of the standard damage. Alright, let's move on to the second thing we have here, which is Kurama Bite. It's one of the best 4 stars in the game right now. It has a lot of effects in it, so we're gonna talk like almost half of this video just about this ninjutsu. So the Kurama Bite has 100 CP costs, a little bit too high, but it doesn't matter because you restore CP every time you use it. 5 seconds cooldown, not the best cooldown ever, but still okay. It's kind of a medium. Maximum power is 8,420, a little bit over average, and critical hit rate is 36%. So what it does is that it attacks with Nine-Tails chakra, causing damage to enemies, increases the user's attack power and defense with the effect medium, and restores CP. So let's start here with the restoration of CP, because it's like the most interesting part of this ninjutsu. So yeah, it basically gives you 1 CP for every 100 damage you deal in the game. Doesn't matter what you attack, as long as you do 100 damage to something, you're getting 1 CP out of that. So if you go against this a special shinobi, or sorry, a shinobi in general, you will get 1 CP for every 100 damage you deal. Against regular shinobi, it is the same. So if you have like 5 regular shinobi in one position, and you like hit them all at the same time, you're actually benefiting from that, because every time you use this ninjutsu, you get rid of 100 CP or you use 100 CP, but you get back like, I don't know, maybe around 500 or 700, sometimes 800, depending on how much damage you deal on them. And the installations are also the same. I could have sworn that they were actually had their own different multiplier. They had like 1 CP for every 1,000, but I think they changed that. I'm not sure, because that's what I thought I saw when I first started testing this. But right now it's 100 for everything. So basically, if you attack a regular shinobi, a special shinobi, or an installation, you will always get 1 CP per 100 damage. And yeah, it depends, of course, on the installation's defense, because some installations have higher defense than the others. So far, I think I've found the least defense in this installation you see on the screen right now, and you can actually get almost 1,000 CP back from just attacking one of these. And by the way, some people use this in the room before the final room to, you know, kind of bully you into a tornado trap, and you can basically get that into your advantage, so you can just get like almost 1,000 CP back before you enter the final room from just this installation. So yeah, the Kurama Bite so far is doing great. The attack and defense buff effect is medium, which is, by the way, 85%. So basically, when you use it, your attack stats and defense stats get multiplied by 185. So basically, you end up with, like, instead of 10,000 attack, you will get 18,500 attack, and the same thing for defense. If you have 20,000 defense, you will actually have almost why did I take 20,000? Let's just talk about 10,000. So 10,000 will be 18,500 defense. And by the way, that doesn't really show as if you had like a resistance of 85%, because it's different than resistance, because there are other multipliers of the ninjutsu. The ninjutsu has a power. The power actually gets multiplied by some kind of multiplier with the attack stats, and then it kind of has another multiplier when you attack someone with some kind of defense. So it's not exactly like, you will not find the 85% as if they are exactly 85% damage reduction or resistance. So it's not exactly like you might think it is. So it just improves your stats by 85%. Moving on to the fact that it has also an iframe. So as I told you before, it has a lot of effects in it. It has an iframe that lasts for, like, I don't know, 1.5 seconds. It can actually help you escape some multi-hit ultimates, like Mother's ultimate. But of course, you have to use it on the right timing, because if you use it a little bit late or a little bit early, I mean, if you do it a little bit late, you will die anyway. But if you do it a little bit early, you will probably get killed by the last hit of someone's, like, Mother's ultimates. So yeah, so far it's just crazy. It also though does 2 hits, by the way, and it has a little bit more damage than the standard damage. So I have kind of you know, compared it to Haku's 4-star, and it does around 1.2, I want to say 1.2, 1.3 of the standard damage with the 2 hits. So it's not so bad. It's actually really great on ninjutsu, and you can, by the way, use it to go over traps. I mean, that's how people actually use KLM Naruto as a main character. You have to use this to go over traps and, you know, jump over things in general, and it's just used as a teleport in general. So basically, you can use it to go over traps. As you can see in the screen right now, you can go over every kind of trap in the game without a problem. So this is the Kurama Bite. It's a really, really good ninjutsu, one of the best ninjutsus in the game right now. And if KLM Naruto ever has a recut, ever gets a recut, then yeah, this is gonna be something that is essentially going to be in his recut, like added with his recuts. So there you go. Second thing, since we were talking about the invincibility, the iframe, the invincibility with the Kurama's clock that you can basically give to yourself and every one of your teammates. It basically restores HP of allies on the same floor by a medium amount, also turns them invincible for 2 seconds. Now, checking by level, yeah, it's 2 seconds right here. You can use it every 10 seconds if you have it maxed out to level 6. It's 15 seconds at level 1, so make sure to max it out. You can use it every 10 seconds, and it restores 2,200 HP per usage every 10 seconds. So 2 seconds, by the way, this is kind of debatable, because when you use it, by the way, for yourself, you get iframe or invincibility right away, like instantly. You just click on it and you have invincibility for the next 2 seconds, or maybe even 2.5 seconds. But for your teammates, they're gonna have to wait until your animation of that ninjutsu end. And in case you are trying to help your teammates survive an attack in general, then you're probably gonna have to use it before they even use the attack, which is gonna be hard to actually expect when the attack is gonna happen. But if you use it right away as the attack is happening, only you is going to survive. So only you are going to survive. Okay. So basically, yeah, it's really good in general. It doesn't work for your teammates all the time. However, in general, it works really nice, and it has CP cost of 150. So we're probably not gonna want to use it much. And you can actually use it before you enter the final room because, well, as we were talking about that, you just have to use it right before you enter the final room. Then you have 1 second extra when you enter the final room. You just don't get hit for like a whole second, and that's the only second, by the way, you cannot use your ultimate or any of your ninjutsu. So basically, after this second is up, you can just use your ultimate. So basically, you just have to enter with your invincibility, and you just keep spamming your finger on the ultimate, and bam! After you get your ultimate ready and done, and you use it, other attackers will probably use their iframes, and then your ultimate will kill them after their iframes are gone. So yeah, the Kurama's Clock is just another OP ninjutsu in his kit, and that leaves us with only one ninjutsu here, which is the Super Many-Tailed Beast Bomb. So it attacks with a compressed many-tailed beast bomb, causing damage to enemies, decreases the enemy's released resistance. So there isn't really much to talk about here. It's just it helps you do more damage to enemies if you want to use your ultimate, or if you want to use this ninjutsu again, because both of them are basically release nature. I think I should just go over the effects here real quick. So the nature of the ultimate is release, and this ninjutsu is release as well. The Kurama Bite, however, is manipulate. So manipulate doesn't, or Kurama Bite doesn't really get posted by this ninjutsu. So yeah, 10% resistance or weakness. You add 10% weakness to the enemy versus nature's of release nature. So, and that lasts for 40 seconds. So you can use it once, and then you don't have to use it again. But of course, you will have to use it again to do damage. So it has a CP cost of 100 and 5 seconds cooldown, just like the Chroma Bites. Not so bad. Again, over the average, or the preferred average. But yeah, in general, it's a really good ninjutsu. And by the way, it has the same effect as Kirin. If you guys remember Kirin's ultimate, Sasuke versus Itachi's ultimate Kirin, it has this ability where it basically stays in the field as long as there are other enemies entering the field of the damage, or the damaging area. So let's say, for example, he uses it and on some kind of a summoning portal, and more enemies are getting summoned into the attack. The attack will stay there, and it will even get more and more, like it's gonna get bigger and bigger, and it looks really cool, by the way. It's gonna work exactly like Kirin's ultimate. So yeah, you guys, I'm gonna be leaving you, by the way, now with that clip from back then when we had this unlimited summoned shinobi from, I think it was in Christmas, and Kirin was able to stay in the map for, like, I think 5 seconds extra or something like that. So it's the same as this ninjutsu. So overall, Kurama Link Mode Naruto is actually a double S tier as a support character. He has pretty much everything you need for a support character. He has healing, has invincibility, which is something that does anything else has in the game right now. The invincibility, by the way, cures status elements. I forgot about that. So if you use it, you basically are immune to everything, not just damage, to every kind of effect. Seal, poison, damage with time effect, everything. So yeah. He also has an ultimate that covers the whole floor. So if he got separated from you and he started getting damage, he just, like, as soon as he starts using his ultimate, then bam, it's over for the other character that is attacking him on that floor. And of course, the Kurama Bite has like millions of effects in there. You can use it for multiple reasons and multiple purposes. And this ninjutsu, by the way, is going to be very useful for the Sam, because you're going to weaken the Sam boss even more with your super mini tailed beast bomb. Then you can use your ultimate that has 1.2 of the multiplier of um, of of the standard damage. So at the end of the day, he's not gonna be so bad for the Sam as well. Maybe not as good, like damage wise, not as good as Itachi, unless they actually give him a better multiplier than Itachi to get them both in the same level. Then in that case, Naruto would be better, because then you will not have to worry about where your ultimate is and whether the Sam boss actually ran away from the range of your ultimate or not, because he will, in any kind of way, in every case, will always hit the Sam boss wherever the Sam boss is. So as for the support character, he's gonna be, as I said, a double S tier. In the Sam, he's probably gonna be one of the best for the next Sam. I'm not sure who the third character is going to be. I don't know if you guys have any idea who the third character will be. So if you know, make sure to leave that in the comment section below. But yeah, there's only one thing we need. Oh yeah, in Attack Mission as a main character, he's an S tier, by the way, a high S tier. He works really well. If there is some place in the Attack Mission, I also mentioned that in my Attack Mission showcase. If there's a floor that allows him to get CP back, which is basically that floor that people leave, where people leave Shinobi to waste your time, and basically you can use that in your advantage to get CP back using the Kurama bites. So yeah, if you are or if you can get your CP back from that fortress you are actually attacking, then he might even be a double S tier, in my opinion. And he's way better than Itachi, by the way. If you were wondering, like if you came here to see whether you should be summoning on him or Itachi, then yeah, he is the better option here. And yeah, defense. In the final room, people are saying that he's not good because he doesn't use his invincibility. Even if you would like him to use the invincibility to help you, help the whole team survive in the final room, he doesn't use it that often unless he starts taking damage. Sometimes he does use it before even taking damage, but it's like his last priority. So he's not really the most optimal character for the final room, but he's okay. I would give him like an A tier. I'm gonna go with A tier. Okay, I'm gonna give him an A tier for the final room. And in defense in general, I think he is, he doesn't really do a lot of damage, but he's really annoying, and he can survive for a long time. So I think he could be an S tier as a defender as well. So yeah, overall, I think he's an S tier character in general. And in some aspects of the game, like being a support, he's a double S tier. So he is definitely worth the Shinobites, and he's definitely going to be good for the next Sam as well. So yeah, make sure you guys power him up and max his abilities, max everything, and don't forget to use the green kunai, by the way, to make his ultimate even better, because he will be doing more damage with these kunai. I think we got this kunai from last team battle, yeah. So if you got these kunai from the last team battle, make sure to use them. And yeah, that's it for this video, guys. Thank you for watching. Let me know your opinions about this Kill Him Naruto so far. Are you enjoying playing with him? Did you actually summon for him or not? And any other comments will be appreciated as well. So yeah, thank you all for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys on the next one. See ya.